Hello, my name is Additional Amujo. I'm one of the directors in FinREMIT, a newly developed app that is meant to support you in wealth creation and building wealth. I'm an accountant and I'm practicing in the UK at the moment as we speak. So what are we trying to look at today? We are trying to look
understanding the tax obligations as a tool to build wealth in diaspora.
taking UK as a point of discussion today. Are you in the UK newly and you don't understand how the tax works here? Are you planning to come to the UK, you have your visa, but you don't really understand how it works over here? Or are you even contemplating either going to the US or the UK or Canada and you are trying to choose which one will give you value for your money? Then this video is for you. The first thing we are going to focus on is what is tax. As everybody knows, taxation is the way whereby the government generates funds from the people and businesses to fund their social activities that they want to provide for the people in the country or in the community, like roads, hospitals, social services, and other things that the government needs to do, schools, education, and every other thing. Now, taxation is not something that you pay if you want to pay. If I have to put it in a layman language, it is something, it's an obligation, it's a responsibility that must be carried out by every income earner in a community. Are you running a business? Are you an employee of an organization? Are you self-employed? Do you have a property you are selling? Or do you have valuable items that you buy and sell? You must pay tax on them. We are going to discuss some of these taxes one after the other in the course of this video or in our subsequent videos. Now, we are going to focus on three things today. Number one, understanding what the tax is. Number two, why do you need to understand the tax system in the UK? Number three is what are the things you need to know? Number one reason why you need to understand the tax system in the UK is that it is not a voluntary thing, is a compliance issue in the UK. If you live in the UK and you are tax resident in the UK, you are obliged to pay your tax, either on the business or your personal income, or a property or valuable item you are selling, or even your consumption, which is referred to as the value-added tax. Now, number two thing you need to understand is that if you understand the tax system in the UK, it will help you to do your proper financial planning. Everybody knows that at the end of the day, whatsoever you get as your residual income, you have to pay for your bills, you pay for your rent, you pay for every other thing you have to pay for to make your life comfortable. And at the same time, you want to save some money to make sure that at least you send money back home, you invest back home, you want to build a house back home. Those will come out of your residual income. Now, you need to plan for this. If you don't know what is coming out of your income, it will be difficult for you to know what to spend the remaining part on, because at the end of the day, it is either you run yourself into debt, which is likely possible, or you budget or you have expenses beyond what your residual income is going to be. So the tax planning is important. The third thing we are looking at is that the rights and entitlements. In the UK, there are some category of people that are entitled to public funds, and there are some that are not that do not have entitlement to public funds. So you need to understand where you fall. Do you have access to public fund? Do you not have access to public fund, which could be like a support? There are a lot of supports in the UK, working tax credit, child tax credit, child benefit, and things like that. But not everybody have access to them. So you need to understand where you belong so that you can plan yourself and plan your finances adequately well. Now, the fourth thing we are looking at again under understanding the tax system in the UK is what are the penalties that are attached to non-compliance. You know, earlier on we talked about is a compliance thing, not a voluntary thing. So what are the penalties that is attached to you not complying to tax payment? There are penalties attached to it, and tax avoidance or tax evasion are taken seriously in the UK because it constitutes the major source of government project funding. Now, what do you need to know? What are the various types of taxes in the UK? Number one, If you are a business owner, maybe you are in the UK, you are independent, and you have the privilege or opportunity of having your business, the first thing is what kind of corporation tax you have to pay. Corporation tax is a tax you pay on the profit you make as a business, not on the entire revenue that comes to the business. Number two, personal income tax, which is applicable in every country. Most of these taxes are applicable in every other country, but the way it is being operated and the regulations surrounding each of the country is peculiar to each nation. It's not the same everywhere. The way we calculate tax in Nigeria is quite different from the way you calculate tax in the UK. We are going to go deep into all of that in our subsequent videos, but for this, we will just mention the type of taxes that are applicable in the UK. The second is the personal income tax, which is the tax you pay on your taxable income in the UK. The third is your council tax. This is the tax you pay for living in a particular house, because the council also provides some benefits, like your waste disposal is being taken care of by the council. The road, they also use it to take care of the old people, like provide personal care for the old people under the health insurance scheme as well. But you have to pay council tax. Though if you are a student and you are in the UK, you are exempted from paying council tax. Those are the things you need to understand as well. So if you are coming in with a friend who is not on student visa, you cannot compare yourself with such a student, because the student will be given an exemption from council tax. But you, that you are coming as a skilled worker or as a family dependent or as a family member, will not be exempted from council tax. Also, we have the national insurance contribution. The national insurance contribution is another deduction that is taken out of your earnings to support the NHS. Also, they use it to provide basic services for the senior citizens, we call them 65 plus above, 60 plus above, and that is where we have the care homes, the people under NHS and things like that. It's also used to support the police and every other thing that has to be done in the country. So it's a different thing from the personal income tax. This is a national insurance contribution, and also is it like a contribution you are having, because if you have a full 30 years contribution in the UK, you'll be entitled to the full state pension when you get to your pensionable age as a citizen as well. So it's like a savings. So you are supporting the system now to also benefit from it when you get to the class of people that benefit from that category. Then we also have what is called the capital gain tax. The capital gain tax is a tax you pay on the profit you make on the sales of a valuable item. If you have a property that you are selling, like house, jewelry, or any item that is more than £3,000, you are expected to pay capital gain tax, which is the gain you make on selling that particular item. Even though you bought the item for personal use, if the value is more than £3,000, you are required by law to pay tax on it if you sell the item at a profit. Also, we have what is called inheritance tax, which most of the time people are not really fully aware of. Is if your parents willed a property to you, after taking out your allowance, you are required to pay inheritance tax on that particular property you inherited. Then we also have the stamp duties, we have the value added tax, which is levied on consumption. All of these taxes are different taxes you come across one way or the other in the United Kingdom. Now, what are the additional things we need to consider? Number one thing you need to consider is your tax residency. If you're a tax resident in the UK, we're prepared that you are making your livings from the UK, then you must contribute to the development of the country. So are you running your business as a limited company, as a self-employed, or you are just a 9-to-5 worker employee, or you are working to earn your dailies on daily basis or on weekly basis or monthly basis? If you are tax resident in the UK, you are required by law to pay tax in the UK. Now, another thing is double taxation. Some of us, we have property in Nigeria or whichever country we are coming from, and also which we are getting rent from. So some countries have signed tax treaty, like agreement between each other, whereby to avoid double taxation. So all of those things will be considered in details in subsequent videos. Also, you have tax allowances. These are the things that are deducted from your earnings before you calculate your taxable income, like pension contribution. These are like savings for the future. These are some of the things that people put their money into because it's like you are saving for the future. There's a fund you are reserving that you don't have access to at the moment. So all of these things, we are going to take them item by item, line by line. I will talk about them in details in the future. Look out for FinREMIT platform. Look out for FinREMIT app. Download the app. Go to the knowledge section. You will see some of these videos, the slides as well, that you can download and read at your own convenience. But what are we here for? We are here to make your life easy. We are here to make your life better. We are here for you, to support you in wealth creation. We are here to ensure that you live the life you dream about. So thank you for listening today. And I believe that you are going to share this video. Tell others about FinREMIT. Let them know that we are here to improve lives and we are here to make things better for them. And look out for more videos that we're going to post on this platform. Thank you so much and have a beautiful day.